You know, Totri, we got to talk about this, man. We got to talk about a dynasty forming in Tempe.
Dynasty.
Back-to-back Offensive Player of the Weeks for Jeffrey Hims.
It's a Victory Monday here on the PHNX Sun Devils show, of course, presented by Branded Bills. Make sure you head to brandedbills.com and use that code BBPHNX for 15% off your first order. I'm Anthony Totri, joined, as always, by Chicken Little himself, Erik Ruby. We've got the deli man behind the Mac making all of the magic happen. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast.
That drum roll's the greatest thing.
That was good. That was a good one, honestly. I was excited for that. Satan's here. Congrats on being here, Satan. JJB, Emily, Sharon, the list goes on and on. We appreciate everybody spending this next hour with us to talk Arizona State. A lot to get to in terms of the upcoming matchup with Coach Prime Sanders and, of course, the Colorado Buffaloes. Arizona State still having a chance to make that Big 12 championship. There's a ton to get into. I know JJ wants to talk hoops. Maybe we'll chat a little bit hoops at some point.
First, let's make JJ a better hoops fan. Masamba Jop prefers just Masamba.
Doesn't like Jop?
No,
more.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he prefers just Masamba Jop.
We want more, but we don't have to say it with his name.
Because he's always going to bring it.
Yeah.
There we go. Jop to the floor. There you go. See? No, nobody. Okay.
Drop it like it's hot?
Yeah, there you go. Drop it like
wow.
It's hot. Yeah. So Arizona State. Before we get into what Kenny Dillingham had to say, taking a look at Big 12 standings, all that super fun stuff, want to recognize the Sun Devils that did get some weekly Big 12 honors. Jeff Sims now receiving Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week honors, co-Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week with BYU's Bear Bachmeier. This is now the 2 out of the last 3 weeks that Jeff Sims has been given this award. He is also, I saw this stat today, and it was one of the craziest, I think, that I've seen as it relates to Jeff Sims. He has become the first Arizona State quarterback in 3 decades to pass for 175 yards or more and rush for at least 75 in consecutive games.
What?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Jeff Sims doing that, pretty much breaking history. The first ASU quarterback to do that in the last 30
Give me that stat again.
What?
What? Became the first Sun Devil quarterback in 3 decades to pass for 175 yards or more and rush for at least 75 yards in consecutive games.
That makes sense. 75 yards is,
I know, 75 is a lot, especially in college because of the sack yards. Yeah. You would just think that like that's Sam Levitt ball.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Maybe next year. Maybe next year.
You told me like 3
Sam
weeks instead of 3 decades, maybe.
Yeah,
but
it is
3
crazy.
decades is nuts.
It is crazy.
That's
Jeff
30
Sims,
years, Totri.
I mean, he's back-to-back starts where he makes history.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff Sims is really Jeff Hims.
Hashtag Sunday guy.
Yeah, hashtag Sunday guy. Not the only Sunday guy, though, that earned a Big 12 honor this week. That's an Arizona State Sun Devil. Jordan Crook with a career-high 14 total tackles against West Virginia. He received Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week, co-defensive Player of the Week with Texas Tech's Jacob Rodriguez. Crookman continues to be just an absolute force on this defense. I remember when we were going through spring football or early fall camp, and I'd come back from practice, and you'd be like, what's the defense look like? And it's Jordan Crook and Keyshawn Elliott, Cyrus Fiaseu's running with the twos, rotating in, and everybody in the chat was like, why is Cyrus? Like, because Jordan Crook looks good, man. And now you see it. I think you've seen that really throughout the season. I want to say he's either 5th or 7th right now in the Big 12 in terms of total tackles. Jordan Crook continues to be
not 6th, though.
Not 6th. No, he's not 6th. He's
either
5th or 7th. I looked at it this morning.
He's not just a wrap-up guy. That dude lays some freaking hits, dude.
He does. He's a
ASU's
bad man.
defense got some dudes that will light you up.
Oh, yeah. some dogs, 100%. Jordan Crook, man, just an absolute dog on that defense. And then I want to say for the 4th time this season,
yeah, Jesus Gomez.
Jesus Gomez is your Big 12 Special Teams Player of the Week. He now ties Ethan Sanchez from Houston for the most in Big 12 single season history.
Wow. Single season history.
Say what you want about Jesus Gomez, man. He continues to be, I wouldn't be shocked if he was Big 12 Special Teams Player of the Year.
I mean, if you base it off of this.
Yeah, I mean, at this rate, but then again, Scat had all those Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week last year and then didn't win the offensive award. It was so stupid. It was literally the dumbest thing in the world.
Yeah.
But again,
they gave it to Shedeur, right?
I think, or Travis, one of the two, I want to say.
I think Travis got Defensive Player of the Year.
Did he?
I don't know.
We don't need to talk
Who
about
cares?
It. But still, you got to tip your cap to all the Sun Devils.
He won the
Big 12 weekly honors.
No, I know. I'm talking about for, maybe he did get Offensive Player. I don't know. Let's see.
I just know Scat didn't win it. That's all I know. Scat should have won Offensive Player of the Year last year and did not, and it was outrageous. I do think it was. I don't think it was another running back.
I think it was Tyson or
Shedeur Sanders, Offensive Player of the Year. Travis Hunter, Defensive Player of the Year in the Big 12.
Interesting.
And no Big 12 championship to show for it.
Well, they won the real Big 12 championship, the Alamo Bowl against BYU.
Alamo Bowl. Congratulations,
dude! You
again
gotta beat the horns off of Ralphie.
You do. You got to beat the horns off of CU. The question is, will you have your star wide receiver traveling to do so? We haven't seen Jordyn Tyson in game in literally a month. It'll be a month tomorrow since Jordyn Tyson has played in a game for Arizona State. We know he's been dealing with that hamstring injury that he suffered against Texas Tech. Dilly was asked about it today. I'm going to be honest, Dilly's answer still didn't give a ton. I think we'll learn a lot more on Tuesday and Wednesday when we get the opportunity to see practice and whether or not Jordyn Tyson is actually out there wearing pads, running with the team, doing things that we haven't seen him do in quite some time. Dilly said he is going to start his running progression this week. That on top of how he performs in practice will kind of give Arizona State and this coaching staff everything that they need to know in terms of whether or not he is good to go. But all indications from what I gathered is that unless Jordyn Tyson is 100%, you will not see him against Colorado. That is just my interpretation of what Kenny said today in the way that they have kind of handled Tyson's return to practice.
I mean, it's a hamstring injury. Hamstring injuries are not fun and linger and can get re-aggravated, or not re-aggravated because that's technically not the term for it, but what?
Just aggravated.
Just aggravated.
They can be nagging injuries.
Yeah, they can be nagging. Trust me, I know, because the other team that I cover is dealing with a pretty major one right now.
If you could only heal one hamstring.
Oh,
guys,
brother.
Stop pitting the shows against each other.
Brother, no. Don't make me do that, man. Don't make me do that.
Come
Look,
on.
I'm not doing that. what I will say is,
It's Jordyn Tyson.
It's Jordyn Tyson.
if Jordyn Tyson were to push through to play any game for the remainder of the season, I wouldn't choose this one.
I agree.
And if you have now gone multiple weeks without him picking up wins, as nice as it would be for him to come back against his former team and how poetic that would definitely be, this is probably the easiest game you'll play all year. Minus maybe NAU week 1, right? Like this is a Colorado team that, despite what Kenny will say in his weekly presser, where he gives them a lot of credit for how tough they play and how they respond, this is a Colorado team that is absolutely spiraling, right? And this is a Colorado team that cannot stop a nosebleed. So do you need Jordyn Tyson when Jeff Sims is doing what Jeff Sims is doing? Probably not. Would it make you a whole lot better? Yes. And would it make it a whole lot easier? Yes. But this is also somebody that, look, man, he's got potential to go in the top 5, top 10. You put out a stat earlier today about how he's still one of the top receivers in the Big 12 statistically, despite not playing for almost like a month now.
Yeah, literally. Like I said, he is. We're a day away from him not playing a full month now, and he is still tied second highest in terms of receiving touchdowns in the conference at 8, and then receptions in the conference with, I want to say, about 57 right now. So pretty wild that we've hit this point where he hasn't played in a month and is still atop the Big 12 in some major receiving categories. Would it make a drastic difference if Jordyn Tyson was out there? I think yes.
Absolutely.
Do you need him for this game? I don't think so. And that's what Short Bus is kind of echoing. Don't need Tyson this week. And again, Sharon says, if Tyson can't come back this week, I hope he plays in the Territorial Cup game, one more game as a Sun Devil in Tempe. I think you absolutely are. ASU fans are just begging to see Tyson back at least one more time.
As is totally expected.
Yeah, 1,000%, right? Because this is somebody, like you said, is expected to be a top 5, potentially top 10 pick in the 2026 NFL draft. So if the last time you saw him out there was, that Texas Tech game, that would be, at least you would get to remember it as a win the last time you saw Sam and Tyson on the field together. But you know that you're not going to see a Sam Levitt to Jordyn Tyson touchdown, the rest of the way. So at the very least, you'd like to see maybe a Sims to Tyson touchdown.
I mean, I would want nothing more than that. I mean, look, Jordyn Tyson is one of the more talented players to ever put on this jersey.
Yeah.
And has an argument certainly for most talented wide receiver to ever put on.
Yeah, he would have
jersey.
Shattered, I think, records this season.
And I agree with that. And obviously he hasn't had the chance to do that. But if you go back and you watch it, I think anybody who actually has watched him play, and I think even people who were watching the earlier teams and obviously teams before our time would agree that this is one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
So if you can get one more chance to watch him, presuming he doesn't come back next year, which I guess is not totally out of the question, but would be a surprise.
I mean, yeah, it would be the biggest surprise in college football, I think.
You want it, right?
Yeah.
You want to see it. Plus, look, this is still an Arizona State team, and we'll get into a little bit more of the Big 12 picture later, that is still fighting for a Big 12 championship. That is still on the table for this team. And no, Sam Levitt is certainly something, but the way that Jeff Sims has been playing, the way that this team has still been able to pull out wins, whether it was, a closer one than expected versus West Virginia or a big road upset against Iowa State, there's reason for him to come back. It is not a lost season. It is not a lost team.
No.
They are 7-3. They have about a 14% chance of making the Big 12 championship. And whether he plays or he doesn't play this weekend, I think everybody in this room and in this chat would expect a win over Colorado, which means they should hopefully still somewhat control some of their own destiny against Arizona, which in its own right always means something. So it's not a lost season, and there's no reason for him to come back. But certainly there are bigger things at play if he's not 100%.
This is, in theory, and I know Wes Beasy says, I don't think this team has shown us that any opponent is just an easy dub. Which I think part of that is fair. But I also think, again, like in reality, Colorado is the easiest team that you have faced since non-con, right? Since you played probably Texas State. And that is not like something that we are just out there saying. This is like, we'll look at the numbers a little bit later on the show. And Colorado is one of the worst teams in this conference on both sides of the football.
We're not just hating. It's not just because it's Colorado and we've had beef with Colorado over the last couple of years. Statistically speaking,
they're one of the worst teams in the conference.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been going through a lot, as has Arizona State, but these are two teams on very different paths, at least the rest of the way here in 2025. And you can't echo enough what you said, that this is not a lost season for the Sun Devils. You were at 7-3. Again, everything that you still had a hope of accomplishing at the start of the year is technically still there for you to accomplish. Is it, a foregone conclusion that if ASU wins out, they're going to be in the Big 12 championship? No, it's far from it. You need help, right, because of some of the losses that you endured earlier in the season, and I know we'll get to that here in just a little bit too. But like Jordyn Tyson, what he would do, I think would really take this team to the next level. And I know there's going to be some folks that talk about, if Arizona State does get to the Big 12 championship, well, it's a pat on the back, right? It's nice, congratulations, because you will likely play Texas Tech at that point.
Who you beat?
Who you
with
beat?
Sam Levitt, but you beat.
And Jordyn Tyson, right?
Yeah.
So like Jordyn Tyson would certainly up your chances of not just beating Colorado, not just beating Arizona, but if you do hope to get back to the Big 12 championship game, it would certainly help you in that circumstance as well, considering he is the best wide receiver in this conference, potentially the best wide receiver available in the 2026 NFL draft. I do want to get to some of the scenarios where Arizona State could make the Big 12 championship. I want to get to standings and all that fun stuff because there is a lot still at play, and I think the ASU fan base would love to actually know what the path looks like. Yeah. We'll get to that. We'll talk more about CU, and we'll talk a little bit more about what Kenny had to say today at his opening presser, but we are going to take a quick break.
Sometimes you don't think you need something, and then life literally smacks you in the face and you need it. And that's the case with a personal injury or accident law firm. And that's why you need to write down this number just to have it by your side in case you, a family member, or a friend needs it. 602-783-8841. That is the number to the husband and wife law team. And you need to do your research before picking a personal injury and wrongful death lawyer. So might as well pick one that has multiple certified specialists working for them. That's less than 1% of all lawyers in Arizona can say they're specialists in wrongful death litigation. You can have access to an attorney at all times, attorneys that actually go to trial and a practice 100% dedicated to injury and wrongful death, plus 100% dedicated to Arizona because the husband and wife law team, Mark and Alexis Breyer, are committed to the place that they call home. If you've had a serious injury, call the husband and wife law team first at 602-783-8841 or visit their website at the link in our show notes and tell them PHNX sent you.
Look, the holiday season has officially arrived. You got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas, you got New Year's, which for me and probably a lot of you guys at home means you are going to be having a ton of people staying at your house. Grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles, cousins, the list goes on and on and on. And if your family's anything like mine, well, then none of you are going to agree on the temperature in your house. So you're going to be changing it from maybe 71 to maybe 79. Who knows? Maybe somebody loves it in the 60s. Regardless, though, entertaining is a big part of the holidays. And to keep your guests comfortable and energy cost manageable, we got a smart thermostat. And if you're an APS customer, make sure you guys visit aps.com/sale to learn how to get a new smart thermostat from as low as $0. Shipping and taxes not included. Other restrictions apply.
Wes Beasy in the chat, which, by the way, thank you all for being here in the chat. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button.
Do it.
Become a member like Wes Beasy.
Yes.
Says, on paper, Colorado is absolute ass.
Correct.
I agree.
100%.
However, if the team goes in with that mindset, we could be cold and mad out in Boulder. A wounded animal is a dangerous one, and they want to spoil our hopes.
I don't even know if we can consider Colorado a wounded animal at this point. Colorado's like an animal that's been hit by a truck. It's almost roadkill. It's almost roadkill at this point.
I saw a pretty bad roadkill 2 weeks ago, and that's what I thought of.
Yeah. Or it's just like limping around kind of.
Oh, no. It was like I couldn't tell what part of the body it was.
Twitching.
So,
wow. That's
what I think is more.
No, I don't think Colorado's there yet. That's Oklahoma State. I think Oklahoma State is.
By the way, those are two teams that are right next to each other in the standings. Oklahoma State is the only team below Colorado right now in the Big 12. Colorado 1-6 in the Big 12.
Who did they beat?
Iowa State. When they were number 22, but that was when Iowa State was at the peak of their injuredness.
Yeah, their injuredness.
Do you want to know? So Colorado has 3 wins this season. Obviously, one of them being Iowa State. Do you remember the 2 other teams that they have beaten?
They didn't beat Nebraska, did they?
No, they didn't play Nebraska this year. That was the year before.
Georgia Tech.
They lost to Georgia Tech. Week 1, 27-20.
That was a close one.
That was a close one. That was terrible clock management by Dion at the end.
They had like 2-3 timeouts maybe at the end and just kind of let it run. So they won the 2 other non-con games that they played. Colorado State.
Nope. They didn't play Colorado State this year. That was
their rivals this year?
That was last year.
Blue Hens.
Delaware Blue Hens, 31-7. And the Wyoming Cowboys.
What was that score?
37-20. And they suck.
But it was close at halftime, wasn't it?
So they beat nobody.
No, it wasn't. It was 0-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah, Colorado had a 21-point second quarter in that one.
Here's what I'll say, though, about Colorado. They do have individual talent, and you can't.
They do.
You can't completely discredit that. And college football is still the type of game where anything can happen.
The Big 12 is Big 12,
and it's a Big 12.
You're a warm weather team going on the road in the cold.
There's a lot of factors at play where you can see an upset happening, and the individual talent thing is something that would normally worry me. But with a team like Arizona State, when you have a coach like Kenny Dillingham, you know what you're going to say? Amari Miller's not catching the ball.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to throw him the ball.
Yeah.
They've had a tough time doing that all year. Yeah. It's just throwing him the football. I agree with you. I think, obviously, coaching makes a massive impact on how you view this game. There's no doubt in my mind you go back half decade and Herm Edwards is leading a team to a bad Oregon State and Corvallis, and I'm not feeling good, right?
Yeah.
But you give me Kenny Dillingham with a 7-3 football team, regardless of who's playing for this team, I feel good knowing that this staff is going to find a way to get this team 100% prepared for this game.
With something to play for.
With 100% something to play for, without also looking past this team onto what's going to be a really, really highly anticipated Territorial Cup this year.
Yeah. Look, this is not a team that has earned the right to sleep on anybody right now. I mean, Kenny said it in his press conference earlier today where he's like, I don't feel like we've played a complete football game.
Yeah.
Right? Which, again, that's a conversation we had at the same point last year, as well as they continue to get better and better. But, you know, we saw good stretches, but this team almost lost to West Virginia.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they were down against West Virginia when this game was getting into crunch time. You know, and West Virginia is a team that just beat Colorado, but that was a close margin as well. So right now, like these three teams, West Virginia, Arizona State, Colorado, they're all playing each other in this 3-week span. And Colorado has played West Virginia. That's a 7-point game. West Virginia has played ASU. That's a 2-point game, right?
Yeah.
Those are all close margins. So it's not like Arizona State is playing in a way where we can walk in and say they're going to win by 30, right? Because West BC said in the chat, there's been lots of games where we said they should win by 30, and they haven't. But should they win this game? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because there's no reason to sleep, right? You go up and you play a coach like Dion, you know that there's going to be some sort of spotlight on you as a team, right? You still have Big 12 championship hopes to play for, and you still have stuff to prove.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't like you're moonwalking to the Big 12 championship. Colorado sucks. It's, hey, we got to do something here. We got to really make sure and ensure that we win these games and that we win them convincingly so that we have some momentum going up against an Arizona team that honestly at this point might be favored in the Territorial Cup. I don't know if they will be.
I would be very surprised.
It's certainly going to be a lot closer than a lot of people expected. So when you go into this game, I do not expect Arizona State to sleep, but at the same time, we can acknowledge that Colorado does have the individual talent to win. They just have not been able to put that individual talent in at all this season.
Yeah.
They've also had a tough schedule, though, too. I mean, they played Houston early in the season, and Houston ran them out the gym 36-20. They played BYU, TCU, Utah, Arizona, West Virginia. TCU, middle of the pack team. West Virginia, lower end team that's been playing feisty football as of late. Other than that, Arizona, Utah, BYU, and then Iowa State, who they beat. So,
but like, what are the scores of these games?
So
it's not like a lot of these games are close. Like,
no,
I'm pretty sure
Utah,
they're getting belted every single game.
Utah 53-7, Arizona 52-17, TCU 35-21, BYU at home 24-21.
Yeah, when was that though?
That was the first game of conference play, but they had a weird one where they played Houston in non-con weeks, but I think it counted as a conference game. And then they played Wyoming, then they played BYU. So I think it was like technically 2 weeks into the Big 12 slate. But BYU was ranked the number 25 team in the country, and they were at home against BYU, and they only lost by 3, right? They were at home when they beat Iowa State. Now, they were also at home and they lost to Arizona 52-17, and I also think this team has looked a lot worse over the last 3 weeks than they had at the beginning of conference play. So the fact that this is not a home game for Arizona State is also a factor that comes into play here, because all of Colorado's wins this season have come at home. Delaware, Wyoming, Iowa State. 2 bad teams and 1 team that was dealing with injuries, but is still a good feisty team and well-coached team that I would say has the coaching advantage as well. Arizona State is a really banged up team missing top end talent with a coaching advantage going on the road.
Yeah.
So nothing is for sure. But again, if we're doing jelly check, my jellies feel good right
Your
now.
jellies feel good?
Whether Tyson plays or not, my jellies feel good.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Tyson plays, jellies feel
amazing.
Yeah, for sure. And I think what that would do is it opens up the entire offense. Right, it's not just like, oh, Jeff Sims gets a shiny new toy that's just happens to be like the best toy in the box. Like, this is going to mean, in theory, that everybody offensively is going to be up against one worse cover corner in man coverage, because the number 1 guy is dedicated to Jordyn Tyson.
Or even for Raleek and Jeff to be able to run the ball, because you're going to have to keep them so much more honest when you have Jordyn Tyson out there. The threat of throwing the ball is about 100 times greater when
Yeah.
Jordyn Tyson's out there. Even though Eusebio's had a good game, Malik McLean has had a good game, Jalen Moss has had a good game, all well. Jordyn Tyson has been out. It doesn't matter, man. You're not worried about those guys in the same stratosphere as Jordyn Tyson.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Do we have the Big 12 standings ready to rock? Let's go ahead and get to these Big 12 standings so everybody can kind of see where Arizona State sits in their quest to return to Dallas for the 2025 Big 12 championship. If the conference championship were played today, it would be between Texas Tech and BYU, which I think unbiasedly would be a phenomenal game to get to watch yet again. Followed by Utah sitting at 3rd, Houston at 4, Arizona State at 5, Cincinnati at 6, Arizona at 7. Everybody past Arizona at this point is not worth discussing, in all honesty. And as it stands right now in terms of conference record, Texas Tech and BYU are one-loss conference teams. Texas Tech has the head-to-head over BYU, and technically they have one more conference win than BYU does. As it follows from Utah to Arizona, Utah, Houston, and Arizona State and Cincinnati are all tied at 5-2 in terms of their conference record. Arizona is 4-3 at that point. Arizona, I want to say, has like the world's smallest chance, potentially. I don't even know if they have a chance, in all honesty, to make the Big 12 championship.
No, because they already have 3 conference
So
losses.
they're pretty much done.
They still have a chance.
They do?
Yep.
I thought they were
Everybody would need to lose to the worst teams in the conference for it to happen.
Because the BYU tiebreaker isn't head-to-head first. Remember, it's
the common opponent.
Yeah, so they still have a very,
which isn't dumb for Arizona State this year because
I know.
There's a world where ASU, Houston, and Utah can all be tied, but Arizona State would get the nod because of the win over Texas Tech. So if you're an Arizona State fan currently trying to figure out a path to get back to Dallas, the easiest path in my mind is as follows. Arizona State beats Colorado, and Arizona State wins the Territorial Cup over Arizona. What you need the rest of the way is you need Cincinnati to beat BYU.
That's number one. That
is the number one thing. Because BYU, I want to say, is UCF the following week. And I don't see a world where BYU beats any relevant team in this conference.
BYU has been playing really. I mean, I guess the response from Texas Tech, but they dog walked.
Yeah, it
TCU.
The final regular season game for BYU is in Provo against UCF. I don't see a world where they lose that ball game. So you need Cincinnati to win this week, and then you need Cincinnati to lose the following week to TCU, along with Texas Tech winning out. The only realistic scenario that I see, again, I know there's a bunch of other scenarios. The only realistic scenario is Arizona State is in a rematch from a month ago against Texas Tech in Dallas for the Big 12 championship. But again, the easiest path is Arizona State takes care of what's in front of them, which is Colorado and Arizona. And then you get an upset this weekend with Cincy over BYU. And then you get Cincy losing to Josh Hoover and TCU the following week. That would be good enough for Arizona State to return to Dallas, given the fact that you would have a tie with Utah, Houston, and Arizona State. And I want to say Cincinnati as well. Or no, Cincinnati would lose to TCU the following week, so you'd have a 3-way tie, right? Or you'd have the tie with BYU as well. Arizona State would get in because of the common win percentage. And Arizona State has that win over Texas Tech, which is what floats them to the top over all of these other teams, despite the Sun Devils having already lost to Utah and Houston this year.
Here's my favorite scenario, though. Cincinnati wins out, and our boys, West Virginia,
beat Texas Tech. That's the only game Tech has left.
Yep.
Is at home against West Virginia.
And you play Cincinnati in the title game.
How elite would that be?
That's my dream.
Sorsby Sims?
Jeff Sims to the college football playoff.
Something else weird would have to happen. There has to be there's another common opponent that would have to win and for you to get the tiebreaker over Tech, I think. But that's my favorite scenario. Hey, dude.
Why not us?
There's a world.
There's certainly a world.
There's
West
also
Virginia's
a world.
a feisty team.
There's also a world where BYU craps its pants and loses to UCF.
Yeah,
I don't see it happening.
I don't either, but it is
BYU.
Big 12 football.
It is BYU who did the same thing last year, who literally crapped their pants week over week over week over week. You know, to
if they were going to
ASU
crap
a
their
shot.
pants, though, it would have been last week against TCU.
They
can't believe.
and they
mollywalked them.
Mollywalked.
It was
I
bad.
can't believe that you lost to Houston still. It just makes me sick.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
tough.
loss to Houston really hurts in this circumstance. But we're looking at I think a relatively realistic situation where we are going into the final week of the season where Arizona State needs a Territorial Cup win and one other thing to happen to make the Big 12 championship. The best part about it, at least as it stands right now, going forward, you are going to get the Arizona State-Arizona game at 7 p.m., obviously on that Friday. So every Arizona State fan is going to have an open Saturday knowing whether or not they even still have a chance at that point. So you will 100% be watching all of the slate on Saturday. They're still waiting to announce kickoff times for those games. And then this week should be a lot of fun watching games because you have Arizona State and Colorado at 6, and you also have BYU Cincinnati kicking off at 6 as well. So you best believe when we're doing a watch along, we're going to be watching both those games.
Let's put both in the title, baby. Let's get those views.
It's going to be great. It's going to be absolutely great. I think this is a team and a program that last year, don't get me wrong, was so much fun to get to that point. But it's been some time since Arizona State fans have had a realistic chance in consecutive seasons to be in the thick of a conference championship conversation. And of course, you never want to settle for just like, oh, I'm so glad I am being invited to the party, right? You want to obviously be there at the end of the day. But to be at this point, given the injuries and the circumstances that you've dealt with, I think, again, you just got to tip your cap. And I know some people are frustrated at the way some of the last couple of games have gone, win, loss, or whatever. And Dilly said it today. You can be happy with the result and irritated with the process a little bit. And I think that's where a lot of the fans are at right now. Hey, like I'll take 7-3 any day of the week, right? Can you be upset that it wasn't a 40-point blowout against West Virginia? Yeah, 100%. But Dilly's just as upset. We were listening to the presser today, right? He is the biggest advocate for this program and team to finally put it together in all 3 phases for a complete game. He said today, we still haven't played a complete game. We still haven't played a good game of football in all 3 phases. He thought last week against West Virginia was going to be it when they were up 22-10 and they just drove 99 yards. That wasn't the case. Well, guess what? You have a brand spanking new opportunity against Colorado. All Arizona State can worry about is what Arizona State has on deck, and that is Colorado.
Yeah. Look, you got to take care of business first and foremost. Literally nothing else matters if you lose the next 2 games, any one of them. If you lose to Colorado or if you lose to Arizona, right? And one of those is a much tougher opponent than the other.
Yeah.
If you lose either of those games, then nothing that we're talking about matters at all.
Correct.
Arizona State needs to win. It was the same last year. None of all the other stuff mattered if ASU didn't win out to end the season.
And they did.
Beat BYU if they didn't beat Arizona. And they went out there and they did. So at the end of the day, you have a favorable-ish schedule with Colorado being mixed in there. Imagine if you were playing a Utah right now instead of earlier in the season when you did lose to them. But
God, that would suck.
If that was on deck, if Texas Tech was on deck, look, after that Utah game, things felt pretty bleak, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Overall. And I think
they spanked you.
And I think sitting here now with 2 games left in the season and 2 games where Arizona State will at least be favored for sure in one of them and likely in 2, you should feel good about the chances that you have, but nothing is guaranteed, and it is still technically a long shot. But we have seen longer shots hit.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
Bansheezy, I'm with you. I can't read the comment, but I am 1,000% with you on that. Short Bus with an interesting comment saying, in my opinion, I don't think the conference wants us in at all based solely. We don't sell like BYU Tech do, and they feel both those 2 could beat SEC a Big Ten team. And we couldn't. I mean,
screw with the conference.
If Arizona State makes it to the Big 12 championship again, given the circumstances, again, you have to tip your cap to that team, that program, and especially the coaching staff. And if they can make it again, given the circumstances, once you get to the playoff, all bets are off. Nobody wants to see anybody at that point in time.
I mean, if this team wins the Big 12 championship, If they
Yeah,
beat
I mean, that'd be
Tech? I mean,
yeah.
if they beat Tech,
Or anybody that they would play. If they won the
Sure.
Big 12 championship, yeah. That's
Brett Yormark would be so mad if it was Cincy ASU.
Yeah, he
He'd
would be.
so
He absolutely
angry.
would be. But like again, at the end of the day, in terms of the comment of like they don't necessarily sell the same, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think ASU completely outsold Iowa State in the Big 12 championship last year based off of obvious proximity.
Yeah.
Right. And you can't say ASU doesn't sell the way these other teams do, like maybe on a national perspective, but locally, Arizona State has sold out every single home game this year. There is no reason to believe that if Arizona State made the Big 12 championship in back-to-back seasons, that they would not sell their allotment of tickets for that game, and that they would not travel well, right? You go back to Texas, Arizona State last year, neutral site, it felt like, and Shane, you can correct me if I'm wrong, you were there, like it felt like Arizona State had just as many fans, if not more, than Texas did at that stadium. And Texas is a quicker plane ride to Atlanta than it is from Tempe. Like, it felt like it was pretty even for me. So I don't necessarily know about the whole, again, sales part of it. But at the end of the day, you got to take care of what's in front of you, and that is Colorado. We are going to talk a little bit more about ASU and Colorado when we take care of what's in front of us. And that is, of course, this next break. Look, in a couple short weeks, the regular season of college football will be over, which means it'll be bowl season, it'll be college football playoff season, etc. And you guys deserve a place to go to celebrate, enjoy, and watch it all. And look no further than Gila River Resorts and Casinos. And I'm not talking just about Wild Horse Pass. I'm talking about all the locations that they have, including Lone Butte, Vequiva, Santan Mountain, but of course, my personal favorite is Wild Horse Pass. A little biased because, of course, we do a bunch of PHNX events over at Wild Horse Pass. I'm sure we're going to be having plenty more PHNX Suns events over at Wild Horse Pass, hopefully here in the near future. But it's not just about the events, it's about the vibes, it's about the time that you guys can have, whether you want to hang by the pool, you want to go ahead and win big on the gaming floor, you want a steak dinner, you can do it all over at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. But there is one thing that you guys always got to keep in mind, and that's you do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Make sure you visit playatgila.com for more details.
It's never too early to start planning for the holidays. They are creeping up, and I've got a great suggestion for you. Check out our friends over at the Arizona Lottery. If you are over the age of 21 and you're gifting to somebody over the age of 21, holiday scratchers are the best stocking stuffers around, because not only are they a fun game, hell, they might walk away with some serious money. There are 6 festive scratchers to choose from, including Cash Countdown, which has prizes up to $250,000, and Candy Cane Cash, which smells like peppermint, which is pretty damn cool.
Ooh.
Plus, you can dash to instant prizes with holiday fast play tickets. And when it comes to holiday gifts, holiday scratchers are the best place to start. Love the play and spread holiday cheer with holiday scratchers from Arizona Lottery. I know my family does it. I know many families do it as well. Play and gift today. Again, if you're over the age of 21 and you're gifting to somebody over the age of 21.
Check them out. Also, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Also, Erik, I think everybody should do themselves a favor and sign up for the PHNX daily newsletter. It's completely free, and all the biggest news in Arizona sports is going to hit your inbox daily at 6 a.m. All you got to do, go to gophnx.com/newsletter. One hell of a time, Rubus.
Yeah, one hell of a time. Alex is doing an amazing job over there. Lots of college talk, lots of pro talk, just about everything that you could want as an Arizona sports fan. And it's not, and I love being able to say this, an amalgamation of links, right? Because this is actual real writing, takeaways, and everything of the sort. So really, really, really big fan of what we got going on there, and really big fan that it's absolutely free.
Absolutely. Well, look, let's go ahead, take a deeper look at Arizona State and Colorado, what these two teams have put out there so far in the 2025 season, starting on the offensive side of the ball for these two squads in terms of total yards. Arizona State sitting at 8th in the conference. Colorado, like you said earlier, Rubus, usually only one team worse when we're talking about where these teams rank, and it's Oklahoma State. Colorado sitting at 15th in total yards accumulated thus far this season. Passing yards, ASU sitting at number 10, Colorado at 13th. in the conference. On the ground, I mean, this is a big one here. ASU with the 5th best rushing attack in the Big 12. Colorado, well, they're on the opposite end of the spectrum at number 15. And then in terms of points scored, it's wild. We're talking about a 7-3 team that is 13th in their conference when it comes to scoring points, but
awful.
They're winning games, man. Colorado at 15. Again, almost a clean sweep at second worst in everything offensively.
Except for passing yards.
Except for passing yards, man.
They've had about 15 quarterbacks this season. So, I mean, look, Colorado's not a good team, right? Now, not good teams win games.
Sometimes, yeah.
And not good teams can sometimes put you in a position that make you sweat a little bit, especially when they are at home and you're on the road. But this is not a Colorado offense that has been absolute killers. And certainly when we go ahead and take a look at the defense as well, that is where Arizona State, I think, holds the best advantage.
Yeah, I think when we look at this Arizona State defense, again, in terms of the Big 12 rankings here, it is just completely opposite ends here. In terms of total yards, ASU's at 7th. Colorado's defense is Swiss cheese at 15. Through the air, ASU secondary actually sitting at 12th. This is the only statistic Colorado, from a team perspective, has better than Arizona State. 9th in terms of what they allow through the air. And then on the ground, ASU's got the 2nd best rushing attack. Defensively, in terms of run defense, Colorado, they are the worst in the conference, actually worse than Oklahoma State. When it comes to stopping the run. They can't even stop a nosebleed. And then points allowed, ASU sitting at number 9, Colorado at 14. I mean, you can't help but look at the difference in run defenses here.
Yeah.
Also, we just finished talking about how ASU is 5th in the conference in terms of rush yards. You see Colorado sitting at 16th. Feels like the easy game plan here is, hey, Jeff and Ralik, just run the football.
Yeah, I think that is what your bread and butter is going to have to be. It's a much different test than West Virginia, who I feel like their run defense, it was really one of the only redeemable parts of their defense. They had one of the best run defenses in the conference. So it's a big difference and a big challenge, but ASU was still able to run the ball against West Virginia, right? So when you look at what Arizona State has to do to beat Colorado, I think a big statistic that you need to look at, and it's one that you mentioned for West Virginia as well, is just don't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
Win the turnover battle, because realistically, if you go up with a lead or if you are not handing Colorado any sort of momentum with the way that this Colorado defense plays and how Arizona State's offense has been projecting with Jeff Sims and Ralik Brown there running the ball, there is a clear formula to winning this game. And I know ASU doesn't score a ton of points, but their defense has been stout and they have played much better offenses than what Colorado has going on for them. Coaching is a big part of it as well. So I feel confident in ASU's strengths exploiting Colorado's weaknesses. It's a very different team than West Virginia, who still isn't one of the better teams in the conference. But as far as competence goes, West Virginia much higher on the board for me than Colorado, even though it was just a 7-point game when they played 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, this is, I mean, again, when we're talking just about the teams here, Colorado is in conversation to be as piss poor as anyone. Oklahoma State and Colorado, I feel like I've long said, are in a category in and of them like their own here. Even West Virginia and Kansas State and some of the Baylors, some of the bad Big 12 teams to this point in the year don't even deserve to be in that same conversation of like as bad because Colorado has been just literally horrendous at this point. Colorado ranks 14th in the Big 12 in terms of first downs, in terms of like third downs, like opponent third downs. Colorado isn't the best in the world at defending them. Like, they're just bad, man. They're just bad. I mean, again, Colorado, in terms of like fourth down conversions, they are second worst behind Oklahoma State. I think a lot of these stats you look at throughout the week are it's Colorado and then it's Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State has won a conference game in 2 full seasons, or near 2 full seasons. So when we're talking about Arizona State and the game plan, and I know we'll see what everything looks like at practice on Tuesday and Wednesday when I'm there, but like. This, again, like I said, against West Virginia, there are games that you pinpoint on the schedule and you're like, okay, I kind of need to, as a coach, do X, Y, and Z to maybe give us an advantage or give us an extra chance here, scheme something up creatively in a game that you point to and say, you know what, we need our best brand of football, right? Like Texas Tech, you needed your best brand of football to beat that team, and you got the job done. Do you want to see your best brand of football against Colorado? Absolutely, because if you don't see it against Colorado, then who are you going to see it against? Right? So you need to see it. Do you need to reinvent the wheel to beat this team? No. I mean, the tape's out there. Everybody knows that Colorado can't stop opposing quarterbacks running the football. Can't stop the run, point blank, period. You go back to that Georgia Tech game at the start of the year, right? And Colorado, like Haynes King, I want to say, put on
he had over 100-something rushing yards.
I think he put on a clinic against Colorado at that point in the season, and he wasn't the only one that, as a quarterback, has been able to dominate Colorado. Yeah, Haynes King through the air was 13 of 20, $143, didn't throw a touchdown, had one INT. But where he did his damage, which Jeff Sims, I'm sorry, Haynes King, this is not a knock on you. Jeff Sims is far more athletic than Haynes King is. Haynes King had 19 carries for $156 and 3 touchdowns, with his longest being 45 yards. Jeff Sims should be well on his way to earning Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week for 3 out of the last 4 weeks if he does the bare minimum against Colorado.
Yeah. Do you know what the line is for this game?
Ooh.
Let's play a little game.
Is it
on the road?
On the road.
7-3 versus 3-7.
It's not going to be astronomical because, again, Arizona State's got their backup quarterback and they're injured, and warm weather team against cold weather team. I want to say like 7.5 or 8.5.
You nailed it. 7.5.
7.5
in favor of ASU. So when you look at the matchup predictor as well, which I always think is funny with ESPN, they give ASU a 63.2% chance of winning this game. So it's not something to where on paper people are expecting ASU to win by 20, 30, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Like this isn't like Tech against, UCF where the line is crazy. But when you break it down statistically, there is a clear path for ASU winning. One last thing on Colorado before we hit a break and talk a little hoops here in a second. Do you know how many yards their leading rusher has this season?
They're what? The 15th worst rushing attack in the conference? Their leading rusher.
For reference, Raleek Brown has 823 yards on the ground.
Yeah, there's not a running back yet in the conference that's hit over 1,000.
Which is crazy from last year.
Yeah. Oof. I'm going to say Colorado's leading rusher is sitting at 292 yards on the ground.
You're really close. 313 for Welch.
Wow. That's
on 81 carries, so a little over half the amount of carries that Raleek has, but well under half the yards.
Well, look, they couldn't run the football last year either.
No.
Right? Like these are the same issues that hurt Colorado a season ago, but they had their guy Shadur and they had Travis Hunter, right?
The offensive and defensive player of the year in the Big 12.
Yeah, they can't stop the run, which they couldn't do last year, and they can't run the football.
Yeah.
You get to 2024, it's the same thing. You get to 2025, it's the same thing. It's just overall top-level talent and experience, mainly for me, is not there, right? Because we've talked about the individual playmakers for Colorado to this point. They just can't put it together. They haven't been able to do so. I know we're all week long are going to be hitting on this matchup. Going to definitely break down Arizona State, Colorado a lot more in depth on Tuesday and Wednesday, so I'm amped for that. But we are going to kick it over to ASU Hoops on the other side of our final break. Look, I genuinely love telling you guys about Circle K just about every chance that I get because I'm so serious. It helps me save money every single day, and it is the easiest way in the world that I have personally experienced to save money. Literally, pay attention. Next 30 seconds, you guys can save money every time you go fill up on gas, which is pretty ridiculous. All you got to do, go to the App Store, download the Circle K app, and from there, all you got to do enter your email and phone number. That right there is going to put you in Circle K's Inner Circle. It's their free membership program. And the next time you pull up to the pump to fill up on gas, you guys are going to save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. But that's not all. Every single time you fill up after that, you guys can save money, not just on gas, but on drinks and on snacks. And if that at that point is not enough to get you guys to sign up for Inner Circle, where they're trying to help you guys save money on Thursday, November 20th. That's this week. They got an Inner Circle Fuel Day where members can enjoy 40 cents off at participating Circle K locations across Arizona. I mean, come on, guys. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit circlek.com for details.
There are a few things that everybody knows about me at PHNX and in the chat, and one of them is that I bleed DFCU blue.
Yeah, you do.
My family has been a member of Desert Financial Credit Union through generations, and they've been around for over 85 years here in the Valley. Been Arizona's largest, most trusted local credit union, dedicated to creating exceptional experiences by giving back to the community and providing financial solutions that make lives better. And you might ask, well, Erik, what are these financial solutions that make lives better? Have you ever heard of a credit union or any place just giving you money?
No, actually.
Well, actually, you have, because we've been doing this for a while now. And Desert Financial will give you $200 just for opening up a free checking account online today. So get your checking, savings, mortgages, loans, credit cards, investment options, and more at Desert Financial Credit Union. And of course, you can get an exclusive Arizona State University branded debit card to spend that money as well. Again, open up a free checking account online, get $200 in bonuses. Get started by visiting desertfinancial.com/200 today.
Now, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Of course, Arizona State men's basketball back on the hardwood tonight, taking on Georgia State. But we are going to kick it back to what happened on Friday. Haven't had the opportunity to talk a whole lot about ASU hoops and that Gonzaga game. And I want to kick it over to, of course, our resident basketball sicko, at least our ASU basketball sicko here, because it's time for Love the Play, brought to you by our friends over at Arizona Lottery. Play and gift today. Shane, the Deli Man, I got to know, what was your favorite play, favorite sequence from Arizona State against Gonzaga?
There is only one play that is the correct answer, and it's the sequence halfway through the second half when ASU was clawing back into the game. I believe it was Mukeba and Jop. Two bigs combined for back-to-back blocks. Mo Odom gets the ball in transition and pulls up for a transition three and hits it. And it was the loudest I've heard DFA in quite some time. Like, it was electric. JJ, if you're still there, correct me if I'm wrong about who blocked that. But man, that game was fun. There were some really awesome moments, and sadly, if ASU could just, clean up the mistakes that it's been happening for a very long time with free throws,
make your
and
free
turnovers.
throws. Don't turn the ball over. Like, look, but here's the thing: is that they, from the tip off, were in this game, right? It never felt like they were fully out of it or that they fully stopped, and they're a fun team.
Yeah,
and I think that is all you can really ask for at this point, is that they play a fun brand of basketball.
Some fun, man.
They have some exciting players off the bench and starting for them. And I do feel like this is a team that, given their talent level and certain guys that are, working back from injury, like Marcus Adams Jr. or a guy like Giop, who's, playing his first season in college basketball, even though he's 20, but he clearly, has some progression to make, but he has shown some really great flashes and great signs. Like, this is a team that I feel like is still going to continue to get better. And it does feel like they are a better coach team, or at least a better team at receiving coaching than last year.
Do you think any of that has to do with, how this team was constructed?
Yeah, for
because
sure.
A lot of these, and again, maybe this is too deep of a philosophical. There you go. Conversation for like the back half of this show. But like, I do genuinely feel, given the circumstances of NIL, transfer portal, and specifically college basketball, because it is, I think, a little different than what you see in college football and other sports, is like there is such a demand on individual brands, right? Of like, I am who I am. I want to be paid this. And then if I do X, Y, and Z at this level, then I'm going to go transfer to wherever to get a pay bump, to get more exposure, whatever. And I think Bobby addressed this, after the first game, but like, this is a team that like is relatively coachable. At least it looks that way.
Yeah, he literally said that out loud.
And a lot of them have pro experience. It's not obviously NBA, right? But like pro experience
pro
overseas.
Ball's hard, man. Overseas basketball is really, really difficult. And it's a very different style. And the thing about playing overseas versus playing AAU and in high school is that overseas coaches are extremely demanding, especially on young guys. If you do not listen to your coach, it does not matter how talented you are. Your ass is on the bench. You're not playing. Doesn't matter if you're a 7-foot demon in the Spanish second league. You're not playing if you don't.
I wish I was a 7-foot demon in the Spanish second league.
Like, if you don't listen to your coach and adhere to what they want you to do, you are not playing.
Yeah.
Right? So when you get guys that have played international ball and have played overseas, and some of them are the best players on the team, you are going to have other guys look at that. And if other players are taking coaching and criticism well, you are going to be more prone to do that. Look, it's tough to look back at last year, and none of us were there in the locker room, right? But
wait, you weren't there?
No, none of us were there in the locker room. But when you break down how that roster was constructed and who was there, I mean, look, one of their best players was BJ Freeman, who obviously, was
allegedly gambling on the team.
And again, like,
which
was also
wild.
dismissed or whatever from the team.
Yeah, he lost his remaining eligibility because of it.
Well, I'm just saying, even during the season, before all of that, he didn't finish the season with the team, right? So clearly there was something.
Mutual parting of ways.
Right. Clearly there was something there with BJ Freeman. I would say your best all-around player in Jaden Quaintance, he was 17. He didn't finish the season healthy. You brought another 17-year-old in halfway through the season. You had another 5-star 18-year-old who started off hot, but then couldn't hit a shot to save his life at the end of it.
Yeah.
Right? Alston Mason was good, but he's like, you didn't have a group of guys that felt like they could be galvanized. It felt like a lot of individual players pieced together and then built around this top 5 recruiting class in the country.
Yeah.
Who,
man, I miss Amir Ali.
Again, Amir Ali is not playing well.
No, he's
right
not.
Now.
Nobody really is, like, say well. Nobody from this team last year that has transferred to what would be considered a big-time school has put out ridiculous numbers.
So Quains is averaging 9.4 points per game, 7.9 rebounds per game.
Playing?
Yeah. Isn't that 24, 25? Oh, wait, no, 25. No, he's not playing.
He's still recovering.
That's last year's stats.
Still recovering from
I was looking at under Kentucky, and they had it labeled as blue, but you're right. Yeah, no, he's not playing. I was like, I hadn't seen him play.
Yeah, nobody to this point is
Shannon. Shannon has had.
Shannon
had an all right year.
He's had some up and down.
Well, he had one bad game, but other than that, he's been good. He's had 15 and 14 points for a really good St. John's team, so he's been good.
He's averaging 12, 3, and 1, but again, like, those are good stats. Those aren't world-beating stats. He is on a team that's top 15 in the country.
He's been good.
Yeah.
So he's been good. Amir Ali is not.
No, he's not been good. Adam Miller hasn't been great.
Except when
Sean Phillips at?
Except when Gonzaga needed him. Adam Miller
I want to know what Sean Phillips is doing.
Adam Miller closed the game out against ASU, for those of you who didn't watch.
I still can't believe that he's on.
He hit 2 deep threes to close the game out. Sharon, I'll make sure to get to it. Don't worry.
Sean Phillips, 7.7 points per game, 5.7 rebounds per game, and an assist per game for the Missouri Tigers.
He's only played in 2 games. Well, he's only played in 2 of them.
They're 4-0.
So,
this played in 3.
Yeah, that's what it says.
18 minutes per game. So he's played in 3 out of their 4 games.
Who cares?
1.3 blocks per game.
Congratulations.
Wow, demon home.
Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It is now time for By the Numbers, presented by Desert Financial Credit Union. Arizona's #1 credit union, named by Forbes. Of course, the only number that matters is the final score. Arizona State getting outclassed and outdueled by Gonzaga, 77-65. Gonzaga shooting 43% from the floor. ASU 36%. From three-point land, though, the Sun Devils 33% to Gonzaga's 29%. ASU getting just drastically out-rebounded, 45-31 in that one. And then from the charity stripe, 77% to 57% in favor of Gonzaga, not great. And then in turnovers forced, Arizona State with an edge here, 14-10. Any of those numbers drastically stick out to you in the reason why ASU lost that one? It's the free throws! The free throws!
Do you know what ASU is shooting free throw percentage-wise this season?
60%.
66.1%.
It's about what they shoot every year.
What?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know, dude.
This
is why we did that free throw video.
I know. It's so ridiculous. You got to hit your free throws. Obviously, Gonzaga is a really big team. Gonzaga is one of the best teams in the country. They're a top 13 team in the country right now. They're going to be physical, out-rebounding you. Okay, that's not great. The turnovers, I think it was more just like the timeliness of those turnovers and what happened after them that is really what is more of an impactful picture, even though ASU forced more turnovers than Gonzaga did. But you're not going to beat good teams if you hit sub 60% on your free throws.
Yeah. I think point blank period. That's it.
I know this wasn't last year's team, but one person that is doing very well, Duke Brennan, leading the country in rebounds per game.
That's crazy.
We saw that coming.
He's a beast.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
He's our
Do you
guy.
know where he's playing, by the way?
It's somewhere good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where is he?
Don't tell me. He transferred there in the off season, and it was like, please come home. And then he transferred. It was like, you were never going to come here. Give me a conference.
ACC.
He's in the ACC. Who's good at basketball in the ACC? Oh, everybody.
Oh, wait. Are they in the ACC? I always forget where they are. I'm pretty sure they're in the ACC. Hold, please.
Hold, please.
Oh, they're in the Big East. Sorry.
Oh, Big East. I don't know. Big East.
Villanova.
Damn.
Duke Brennan bringing Villanova back from
He
the
looks
dead.
beefy, too, by the way. He's 6'10", 250 now.
Oh, my God.
10 and 14.
How many of those are offensive boards?
I'm not grabbing that
He was
for
the
you.
offensive rebound king. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's go ahead and get to Sharon's super chat. I didn't even see the super chat, Sharon, when you had sent it, so sorry.
He is grabbing 7.3 offensive rebounds per game.
7 of his 10 boards.
And 7.5 defensive rebounds
Dog.
per game.
He's a dog.
Sharon's celebrating 2 months of membership.
Hell yeah!
Can we
Let's go, Sharon.
Can we have a territorial cup emoji? Hate week is coming.
Ooh. I think it should be whichever team gets an emoji.
Whoever wins.
Yeah, whoever wins
Sure.
the game
An
gets
emoji
an emoji
on the line.
Yeah.
What would we submit?
Maybe
as
we
our
can
emoji?
I can also make a hate emoji
Ooh.
Yeah.
for this week.
Could we do like the winner gets a territorial cup emoji with the team logo over it?
Isn't that what Totri was saying?
No, but like
No, I was just saying an emoji.
like get an emoji, but the emoji
He's
is
saying
the
the actual-
territorial
Yeah,
cup
that's
with
what I was
our
thinking.
logo
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
Let's do it. Let's
With
absolutely
our
do
logo
it.
on it.
Anything else?
Chorbos asked if they're still missing starters. Yes, they're still missing. They're what did I call him? The Belgian butler.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And technically they're missing VJ
Noah
Wallace.
Musin.
Yeah, they're going to be.
I
missing
think
him
I
the
saw
rest of the
VJ
year.
Wallace walking.
That's good. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
I don't think you saw VJ Wallace walking.
Yeah.
I don't think you saw VJ Wallace walking.
Well, I mean, he was in a big boot, but he'd be in.
I
I
still
guess
don't know if
he'd
you
be
saw
in
him.
crutches. That wasn't him. Never mind.
Yeah, that'd be
Somebody else in a big boot.
that'd
Yeah.
be tough.
Oh, I know who it was. Never mind. Okay.
That is going to do it for today's episode of the PHNX Sun Devils Show. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Again, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. We appreciate everybody that stopped by today to spend their Victory Monday with us, watch and talk and just, rant about ASU athletics. Do it 5 days a week, sometimes 6 if we're feeling frisky. We will see you guys on Tuesday, same time, same place, right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. We'll see what everything looks like at Sun Devil football practice on Tuesday. I'll be there. We'll have the latest. So if you want to keep up with everything that we're doing from the show, go ahead and give the show a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow Chicken Little, who is surprisingly not talking about the sky falling, at Erik.
Oh my God, it is.
That's Erik with a K. You can follow the Deli Man at Shane Dief.
Arizona State is 290th in the country in free throw percentage.
Out
As
of-
always.
As always.
As always, I love that. Guys, we'll see you on Tuesday.
Do you not know how many teams are in college basketball now?
No.
Come on, man.
I don't know.
Come on. Division I college basketball. Same number as the days in a year. 365. We'll see you later, guys.
We all silly like the mayor.